The first time you ride the RTA Rapid downtown for the big game, you may wonder, how do I get through the turnstile? What if I do it wrong and the turnstile doesn't let me through? Then the person behind me will have to back up, and they'll know I'm an RTA rookie, and I'll make us all late. Will that somehow affect our team? Will I have set off a butterfly effect, causing us to lose the game, single-handedly blowing any chance we ever had to? Oh, I just slide my pass and walk through the turnstile, and that was easy, and I could get used to this. It's easier than you think, Cleveland. RTA, get ready to ride.
Car crashes, accidents. We're telling you
why be next.
So listen to us. Don't drive and text.
Keep Cleveland safe and do not text when you drive.
Thanks for tuning in to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. I'm Leah Haslage. This year, the 4th annual Degrees by Design Best Practices Symposium, presented by the Higher Education Compact of Greater Cleveland, gave educators a chance to learn from each other different strategies and practices to help take students from college preparedness to graduation.
The goal of today's event is to leave attendees and partners with best practices in college access, college readiness, and college persistence that they can take back with them to their organizations and implement to help the students that they serve be more successful in college. Today we have attendees coming from around the state and around the country. They are practitioners, they are people who work with students directly, and they all have a stake in making sure that students are prepared for, can have access to, and complete college.
And educating children is not a mystery. It's not a mystery. It's all about taking the best practices, looking at all these concepts and theories, and then taking them and putting them into practice. How do we implement the best practices that we talk about? And that's what we've attempted to do in Cleveland, and we could not have done that and been those modest success that we've had so far without your help. So I want to let you know how much I appreciate you.
CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, Eric Gordon, spoke about the importance of education and gave an update on the Cleveland Plan.
Our post-secondary enrollment measure for last school year's class was 6.8%. That is more than double the state average. And so there's really good work going on in the K-12 readiness space that is the enabler through the Cleveland Plan of what we're trying to do in the Higher Ed Compact. Think of it like a good writing piece. When you write, you start with a rough draft. You have all of these ideas, you get them down on paper. They're not really organized in the way you want, but that was the first year, this getting our good ideas down on paper. The last school year then being the revision of that, where you move things around and you make sense out of your draft, and then the year ahead where you refine it and make a continually improving product ready for publication. The good news is the Cleveland Plan is working. Our city has the 2nd highest childhood poverty in the country. Children from 5 to 17 years old, 2nd highest in the country. The only city with higher poverty is Detroit. If we are going to get kids out of poverty, if poverty is the lock, education is the only key.
The Veterans Treatment Docket is a specialized docket that works within the Cleveland Municipal Court. It is intended to serve active duty military service members and veterans who have become involved with the court. In recognition that many veterans return to civilian life with physical and mental trauma, the court takes the responsibility for ensuring that veterans receive the treatment they need. The program provides the veterans with a mentor to support their success along the way, and a boot camp event was recently held at the Westin Hotel to kick off the training process.
Most of all, I want to thank you. Thank you for serving twice. Servicing in armed forces and now servicing veterans who are in need. As the judge mentioned, service is what this is all about. And as people go through life and as people experience things, sometimes it's hard to put the ends together. Sometimes it's hard to tie those loose ends up. And what you'll be able to do is help veterans tie up those loose ends so that they can go on with their lives.
And that trust is very different when you come back in civilian life and make a transition. There's a different kind of trust, and it can't really replace the trust that we have for each other. And it's that trust that brings you together today to help veterans who are down and out, either with a misdemeanor or with a felony charge, and are on probation, and try to change their lives.
Mentor program was made possible through grant money, and this is the first time the entire state is being covered.
Mentors are helpers. They're not counselors. They're not to produce any punishment or sanctions. They're there to support and help. And they have to be trained. It's important that this process be uniform across the board for all of our mentors that we place in the Veterans Docket. And that's what this training is for. First in Ohio, since the Mentors course been started, and we've got representatives here from all over the state of Ohio, from Cincinnati all the way up to Cleveland.
Earl B. Turner, who is the clerk of the Cleveland Municipal Court, recently brought his staff back to La Sagrada Familia Church for the In the Neighborhood with the Muni Court event, which laid the groundwork for men and women to begin to wipe their criminal records clean of traffic violations and nonviolent misdemeanor offenses.
I don't know why you didn't handle it before, don't care why you did. I'm here to help you now. Everybody deserves a second chance. All of us deserve second chances. But now this time, I'm asking you, whatever program we put you in, handle your business. Because you want to stop ducking and dodging and hiding.
So it's grown from just a ticket situation where you can just take care of that to kind of a holistic care where you come and whatever problem you have, we'd like to address it. And all the agencies that have partnered with us, they like it because it brings people who normally avoid their doors, brings them out and they can meet them one-on-one, and it breaks down those barriers of government and people.
For more information, you can visit clevelandmunicipalcourt.com. Ward 7 Councilman T.J. Dow was joined by members of the community and the Huff Development Corporation for a free breakfast honoring the ongoing legacy of Ward 7 and the various contributions made by its residents.
We are at our legacy breakfast, and this is an event that we give just to thank all of the folks that came before us and the folks that are doing the work today. And we honored Miss Reeves, and she is a beautiful young lady. She's always involved in the community. She gives back. And we just want to show our appreciation for the past and the present. And we also have some young people here too, and also nurturing the future leaders of tomorrow.
A resident of Ward 7 was honored at the event for all of her dedication and hard work in the community. We spoke with her on what advice she would give to others wanting to make a difference.
I would say get involved in your neighborhood, you know. Take charge, you know. Don't allow people to come in and destroy the surroundings, you know. Get involved in, like I said, a street club maybe, you know. Perform a street club and, you know, watch out for the kids. Everybody needs to watch out for the kids.
For more information, visit clevelandcitycouncil.org. Clevelanders recently laced up their sneakers for the 9th annual Slavic Village Pierogi Dash 5K Run and Fun Walk, sponsored by Slavic Village Development, Third Federal Savings, and Dick's Sporting Goods. The race kicked off with lively polka performances, and runners were rewarded at the finish line with pierogies and smokies.
We're excited to be here at the annual Pierogi Dash in Slavic Village. It's a great day. The sun is shining. We got nearly 1,000 runners who are going to make their way all the way up to the Morgana Trail. We're looking forward to a strong finish on a sunny day.
So the Morgana Run Trail is a Rails to Trails project that cuts through what had been previously industrial sites that we're turning into residential development throughout the neighborhood. And it goes all the way from East 49th Street, right at I-77, all the way down to Harvard. And we are working on connecting that throughout the neighborhood, because this is an active living community where folks run and bike and really enjoy the outdoors.
Slavic Village Development is a nonprofit organization serving the North and South Broadway neighborhoods, looking to build stronger communities. When we return to the weekly news wrap-up, we'll see how students are getting to have fun while learning this summer with CMSD TV reporter Shannon Kantner.
Social hosting is when you provide a place where teens can drink alcohol, and so you don't actually have to furnish the alcohol, and you don't even have to be there. But if you're allowing that to occur by being negligent, that's social hosting. Me being a parent myself of teenagers right now, I would think it would be totally unacceptable for another parent to provide alcohol for my child or to give them a place to drink alcohol. I just think that's totally irresponsible. They may think that they're allowing a safe environment, but eventually they're going to go to bed, or they're not going to be guarding kids all night long. Really, what we're after is better decision making so that we don't have to be out there arresting people and charging people with crimes. We want to keep our communities safe, so remember this: parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
School is out for summer, but that doesn't mean learning is out too. The annual Closing the Achievement Gap Summer Bridge Camp offers 7th through 9th grade boys hands-on high school experience to prepare them for the transition when school begins again. Our CMSD reporter Shannon Kantner spent a day at the camp and shows us how they're spending the summer preparing for the fall.
CTAG's a targeted intervention for a targeted population, which happens to be male students of color in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. And our focus is on students who, as 8th graders, exhibited certain risk factors. They maybe had a tough time getting to school on time regularly. They didn't do too well in maybe some of their core classes. They might be overage for that grade level, or they had, maybe behavior issues that resulted in days of suspension. So the Summer Bridge program is an opportunity to get an early look at those students and have them see who we are, so that their first time in a building, they know somebody.
The Closing the Achievement Gap camp started right when the school year ended. It runs Tuesday through Thursday from 8:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Students are offered many workshops, breakfast and lunch, open gym time, and a weekly excursion.
They go and they talk about core values that are important for young people to have in order to be successful. They help them understand the importance of networking, how to, appropriately introduce yourself. And then they also talk a lot about, cultural diversity and the good part about people being different.
The leaders you follow is going to be the most important, so we're going to follow people because they're doing the right thing, right?
We've also brought in an individual who works with life skill development, making good choices, good decision making, that sort of thing. This year we had the pleasure of running into a group of young men who are operating their own video gaming business. They're young guys, probably in their early 20s. So we thought it was a good combination to kind of build a bridge between entrepreneurship and something that, they're all into, which is that video gaming. So they get to talk to those guys about how they develop their business, and then they also get some time to play the latest video games. This year we had the Tai Chi class, which was a new venture for us. So, jury's still out on Tai Chi, but it's a good, I think, program to help students learn how to kind of relax, find that inner self, if you will. Oh, and then we have our partnership with Tri-C, which is the robotics program, so the students have an opportunity to get some STEM experience, and they build their own robots, and they get to show it off at the end, and then they get to keep the robot that they built.
Helping them build their skills are linkage coordinators, offering students guidance as life coaches and mentors.
Well, it means you have an opportunity to give back to the community, to to stand as a role model for young men that oftentimes don't have the right role models in their lives. An opportunity to just lead, to build relationships with them so when they come into the high school, they'll have someone they know already. But aside from that, we also know that they're going to encounter some new things in high school as it relates to new responsibilities, new distractions, new social situations, new emotions. So how do they go about dealing with all of these new and different things? So we try and give them a head start and making them more aware of this is what you can anticipate in a couple of months from now. And this is how you should go about things. So it also gives us an opportunity to develop ambassadors or leaders in the schools.
And 8th grader Fate Williams is well on his way. After just a couple of weeks in the camp, he's already learned a very important lesson.
Life isn't about like all your disappointments. It's all about stuff that you do right instead of stuff you do wrong.
It's a mindset that CTAG leaders hope students will keep with them as they progress, and they'll be there every step of the way to make sure that happens.
Our primary goal is to get to know who these young men are, where they're going, establish a line of communications with their parents that we can utilize from now until the time that they graduate and, you know, keep them moving in the right direction.
Thanks, Shannon. The camp ends in late June with a robotics competition and graduation ceremony. When we return to the weekly news wrap-up, we're going to get an update on all of our sports teams with reporter Christian Patterson.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know. Come alive with the forest. The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. I'm Christian Patterson, and here's a look at what's going on in sports. The Cleveland Cavaliers coasted into the NBA Finals with only 2 losses on their resume. After dominating the Eastern Conference, the Cavs entered the NBA Finals with only a 28% chance of winning it all. But things have changed once the series started. Let's see how the fans feel about the rise of the underdogs.
And that's to repent and believe the gospel. That is turned from sin.
The Cleveland Cavaliers came into this series not expected to win, only a 28% chance of winning. How are you feeling about our chances now being up 2-1?
It's like money in the bank. I mean, like she said, I mean, hey, when you going against the best player on the planet, I mean, it's hard to lose. I mean, so it's a 100% chance right now.
I feel really good. I think we have great chemistry on the floor. I think LeBron is a great leader for the team, and I think we're really going to bring it home for the championship.
Okay, so talk about the underdog. Really, it's been Dellavedova. You know, at the beginning of the season, people were actually talking about they wouldn't like him on the team, and now he's a fan favorite. He's actually got the highest selling jersey in NBA. How you feel about Matthew Dellavedova, the smallest person on our team?
You know what? I'm going to just call him Baby Jesus because he came and saved the day.
Oh, I was feeling great all the way. That 28% doesn't mean – we love being the underdog. LeBron – he eats that up. It's great. I mean, it's Cleveland. It's blue collar. That we love people putting us down. We feed off that.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told for every single person that asked me before the series. Is they may have the best team in the league, but we have the best player ever, LeBron James, man. I believe that anything is possible with LeBron.
I was positive going in, and I'm still positive going out because they just validated with the size and the rebounding and the defense. I mean, the Warriors can't score 100 points. If they can't shoot and score, then what are they really going to do?
When Kyrie Irving went down due to injury, the Cleveland Cavaliers took on the mindset of the next man up. The Cavaliers didn't want to complain or dwell on the injuries affecting them this postseason. Matthew Dellavedova has stepped into the starting point guard role and has thrived. He has become a fan favorite in the city of Cleveland because of his defense, physical play, and he's not afraid to get on the floor and give it his all. Talk about the underdog. I would say Matthew Dellavedova has been the underdog, but now we're seeing his true colors. Just talk about Delly playing his best basketball in the finals.
Oh, Delly's the man. We all knew that coming, and he was the man. He's got more heart than anyone in this league. So just to see him killing it, it's pretty awesome. And having him on our team to stop the MVP is pretty awesome. So we're feeling good. We're feeling
all right, give me a finals prediction. We're up 2-1 right now. What do you think we'll win in?
5 games. 5 games.
All right, all in.
All in, baby. Let's go.
And so for us diehards, we've seen Delly play all season. We see the work he puts in, and he goes hard all the time. So what we see right now isn't different. What we see scoring-wise may be a little different, but we know Delly gives us all every night.
He wasn't even drafted. No one really thought twice about him. They just thought he was a member of the Cavs team. But I think this just goes to show when the NBA Finals turn up, people show up, people prove what they can do. And, you know, I think he's definitely shown what he's made of. And, you know, he's impressed everybody. And I think it's just the greatest underdog story that there's been in a long time.
All right, how you feeling about this new fame for Dellavedova?
He's not going to let it go to his head. He's going to go out there. He's going to be hustling, diving. LeBron will get 40. Delly maybe gets 20 again. If not, he's going to be loved forever.
I mean, I think I read JR said it's like a storybook. It's like, I mean, dude came undrafted out of Australia, and now he's in the NBA Finals, shutting down the MVP and scoring 20 points in the game we need him. So you really couldn't write it.
When you have the best player in the world on your team, anything is possible. Take it from the Miami Heat fans that traveled to Cleveland just to show support to LeBron James and let him know how much they miss him. The Cleveland Indians started the season with a very feeble record. Heading into the third month of the MLB season, the Indians have straddled the 500 mark. Right fielder Brandon Moss has given the Tribe some solid hitting in the most recent outings, followed by some clutch pitching by Danny Salazar. But if the Indians expect to make a postseason appearance, the entire team will have to get hot right now, instead of trying to make a run late in the season. The Cleveland Browns have made it their duty to keep fans engaged throughout this entire offseason, starting off with the logo and color scheme change, followed by the unveiling of the new uniforms and the draft party held at Public Auditorium. And most recently, the Browns invited out all the fans who couldn't wait for the season to start to rally with the Dog Pound at Cleveland Browns Fan Fest, which turned out to be an amazing family-friendly atmosphere. Cleveland Browns Fan Fest turned out to be an amazing event. Browns alumni and current players showed up for the photo ops and autograph signings. There was also a plethora of activities for adults and children to enjoy.
Right, yeah, it's absolutely family friendly. We brought our 5-year-old and our 3-year-old daughter here, and they're having a fantastic time. My son's back there playing in the games right now, and we're looking forward to stopping by all the events, and we felt really great about coming here.
If you planned on getting any autographs or photos, you had to make sure you were in line early, or you would be waiting for quite some time.
We were here before 9 a.m. Okay. Yeah, and we were in line, well, till 10 o'clock when they opened the doors. So we were lucky enough to get in the line early so that we didn't have to wait very long. It's been a lot of fun, and the kids have loved meeting Travis Benjamin and Joe Hayden. They got photos with them today, and it was just really exciting to come out here today.
With the Cleveland Browns providing events of this magnitude, it really taps into the youth audience to make sure they grow up to be die-hard Browns fans for life.
So much fun, so much fun, so much fun, so much fun. Running around this, like probably for 30 minutes, like 15 minutes, and it's been really fun.
All right, so what was your favorite activity of the day so far?
Probably doing the dance thing. The dance thing was really fun. Yeah. Same thing.
All right, so you big Browns fans?
Yeah.
All right, so you got to tell me who's your favorite player this year?
Johnny Manziel. Duke.
Okay, so how do you think the Browns going to do? Think we got a chance this year?
Yeah.
All right, can I get a Go Browns real loud?
Go Browns! Go Browns!
Do you like the way the Browns are going in the direction in with the draft picks we got this year?
Yeah, I like Cameron Irving, how he can go to center and all the other positions on the line.
Okay, and who's your favorite player?
Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden.
Joe Hayden, okay, we got Hayden Nation over here. Can I get a Go Browns real loud?
Go Browns!
If you're a true Browns fan, the offseason seems like forever. Day one Browns fans dream about tailgating and cheering so loud that they're hoarse the next day. FanFest gave those same fans a chance to do some early cheering.
It's great that they're, throwing a fan fest, get everybody excited for the season, new uniforms, new renovations to the stadium.
With less than 3 months to go before the preseason, the Cleveland Browns are showing how much they're invested in the city of Cleveland and its fans. So by the time the season starts, fans will return the favor by cheering as loud as possible and making First Energy Stadium the best place to watch professional football. Well, that's all I have for your TV20 Weekly Sports Wrap-Up. When we return from break, we'll have more with Leah.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
This is why you took a second job. Why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. Why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
Welcome back to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. A lot has happened in Cleveland over the last few weeks, and here are a few top stories in case you missed it. The American Constitution Society believes that law should be a force to improve the lives of all people. The ACS works for positive change by shaping debate on important legal and constitutional issues through promotion and development of high-impact ideas to opinion leaders and the media. The group recently held an event at the City Club of Cleveland honoring Mayor Frank Jackson as the recipient of the 2015 Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones Public Service Award.
There's nothing that in and of itself is a panacea, a silver bullet, and there's nothing that you can do in isolation without having an impact. So balancing the budget to create fiscal stability, to create an environment where businesses would want to invest was essential. So you have all these things happening at the same time, and each one of them are very important, depending on what time it is, and if one will rise to being more important than the other, but they're all essential.
Because the great work of pushing cities forward doesn't happen with ribbon cuttings, doesn't happen with national TV appearances, doesn't happen when there's something to report on and you show up at the right time with Anderson Cooper. It shows up in those quiet passages in the hallways, those Sunday morning phone calls, and the trust that you have in your leader.
Members of the community and other distinguished guests gathered at Jones Day for Technically, a speaking summit that primarily focused on what our area is doing to develop local students for careers in the technology field, how to attract talent from outside of Cleveland, and what could be done better moving forward.
Cleveland is in a very interesting position because technology is here today, and technology will be here tomorrow, and technology will be here in the future as far as we can see. Which means that if we're going to be smart about it, we will position Cleveland for that future. We must do some things in order to ensure that Cleveland is competitive in that industry.
We are creating innovation centers at the public libraries in partnership with the county library. We will have to start 3 locations where our kids, our grandkids, who have the idea for the next Facebook, the next Microsoft, they can go to an innovation center at the library and have access to high-speed internet, some of the equipment they need.
It is a primary goal of this law firm to facilitate the development and growth of more technology companies in Northern Ohio. That sounds cool. What does it mean? We are here to partner with institutions and entrepreneurs to build a supportive infrastructure for emerging growth companies. We are also here to provide legal services in ways and at costs that make sense to those companies. We view this as an investment in our communities.
Panelists from different companies spoke on the role that education plays in developing Cleveland and closing the technological gap that exists.
Education is neither a responsibility nor a practice that is limited to schools. If you follow the learner, you will see that there's a great range of interrelated factors that lead someone to a career in technology. And I expect I could go around and hear some terrific stories from those of us who are gathered today about how we got into our careers in STEM. So thinking about addressing the skills gap through an ecosystem starts to become a very powerful approach.
It starts early, because some of the best practices I've seen is where industries are going in and giving middle school and high school kids a vision of what does IT look like. And it's not just the geeks. Yeah, and IT moves the world. IT can create a new drug. IT can, they give a vision for cool careers in IT. And then the STEM material and the STEM programming that the kids are deciding to try, they see where it's going.
If you're headed downtown to check out any of these events or to simply get to work, be aware that resurfacing of West 3rd Street from Superior to Lakeside Avenue is underway. During this project, one northbound and southbound lane of traffic will be maintained. There will be a second phase to this project that will be announced soon. You will still be able to access all businesses and residences, but on-street parking is not permitted. Both phases are scheduled to be complete by the middle of August. And speaking about getting downtown to an event, there's always something going on in the city of Cleveland, and here's a list of activities and events to enjoy. Summertime is the perfect time to enjoy your lunch outside, and we know the perfect spot for you to go to. It's the official kickoff of Food Truck Friday. Tell us about this great feature that runs all summer.
Well, it's a lunchtime celebration of wonderful food trucks and music provided by Rock Capital. And we go from June 5th, which is today, until October the 9th. And every Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. we'll be at the Free Stamp, and we want everybody from the city of Cleveland to come out. Food Truck Friday is part of Mayor Frank G. Jackson's Art and Everything initiative, and we want to make the mayor happy, so we all want to come out and support Food Truck Friday. I love it. This is about the 4th Food Truck Friday. It's my 2nd Food Truck Friday. I got my #1 trucks out every week, and people come out and enjoy.
Now, it's not just about the food, too. There's other things involved, like music.
Yeah, we have Rock Capital. We'll be providing some of the top bands in the state of Ohio every Friday from 11 a.m. to 2. A lot of local bands like Shade Flex featuring Davidian C. Pearl, who's my personal saxophone player. And there are other great bands. Today we're starting out with the Hestones.
Now, to come down here is, of course, free. And then how many food trucks can we kind of expect every week?
Normally I have 8 food trucks every week, and sometimes if I cancel, I may have 1 or 2 less. But I try to get somebody to fill in if a food truck cancels, and usually I can because it's such a great event. And the food trucks, they love it. They love being here.
And such a variety of food.
A variety of food. We've got barbecue, we've got gyros, we've got tacos, we've got hot dogs, we got burgers. Whatever you want, we got it at Food Truck Friday.
Got it all.
Got it all.
And this is not just for people that work downtown, but if you live downtown or just visiting too.
Anybody, just if you're downtown and you want to take a walk, come up out by the Free Stamp and join us for Food Truck Friday. Get some good food and some great music.
Whether you're 5 or 85, there's something almost magical about being high above ground in a treehouse. The Cleveland Botanical Gardens recently debuted their summer exhibit, Branch Out, giving you an opportunity to hang out in 5 different interactive tree houses while you enjoy nature.
Branch Out got started. We were brainstorming about what kind of summer exhibit we could create here at the garden for this summer. Last year we had a Lego exhibit. We said, well, how can we beat that? And we started talking about tree houses. So we actually put out a request for proposals to local architects, and we got 20 different ideas or plans, and we had people vote on them. We actually had Pete Nelson from Treehouse Masters come and vote, and we had Montessori High School students come and vote, and we narrowed it down to the top 5, and that's what we have on display here this summer. In addition to the tree houses, we have lots of interactive components with each of the houses. So we have musical instruments that you'll probably hear in just a second or two. There's some. We have different things that you can just interact with at each of the houses. One of the tree houses focuses on reading and literature, and so we have some different books in there that you can read. We have some paper and pencils, you can write poetry. So we have lots of different ways that you can engage with the tree house and the area around them, not just go into the tree house and walk out. So that was our goal, to make it a really interactive and fun exhibit. We're open year-round, and the summer is wonderful. So is fall, so is winter, so is spring. But every summer we try to shake it up, add something new for people to come and see. And even the treehouse exhibit, if you come to see it throughout the summer, it's going to be different every time you come. I mean, every season is completely different, and I mean, even this week, every day has been different because with the leaves coming out more and more and everything blooming. And we have our very own permanent tree house in the children's garden that is always a lovely place to just kind of chill out, take a look at, you know, the view from up there. And that's one of the things that I love about these tree houses that we have here, is they're here in our woodland garden. And this garden has been here for decades, but you've never seen it from this perspective. You've never seen it from this high up. So I love that, and I love that some of these tree houses are going to stay here permanently, because that's just going to add a really cool dimension permanently to our garden here. So we have tagged some of the trees, and this is a really cool thing that anybody can do, and it shows the monetary value that a tree has for somebody. Because I can tell you, hey, it's really great to plant a tree, but unless you see that every year this tree at this size is going to save, you know, $200 to $300 to $400 on your heating bill or your cooling bill or you know, things like that, then if it starts impacting your, you know, bank savings, then people start to pay attention to that. So if you look at each different species of tree and the different size that it is, has a different value. And that's based on if this tree is in your yard and it is shading your house in the summer, you don't have to use your air conditioning as much. If it is protecting you from winter winds, you don't have to use your heat as much. And it also shows how much rainwater it would absorb. So it would have been really handy when we had these big, huge rainstorms earlier this spring, to have these trees just kind of soaking up that water and keeping it out of the sewer. So I love that component, and it's actually a website that you can go to, so you can measure trees in your yard and you can find out what that economic value is, that benefit that you would get by having a tree in your yard. So yes, we want people to come to the garden and enjoy what they see here, but if they also learn a little bit of information about, you know, their connection to plants, why plants are important to us, then we feel like we've done our job.
For more information, including hours of operation, upcoming events, purchase tickets, and more, visit cbgarden.org. If you'd like to see more of these stories in their entirety, tune in to TV20's Around Town and just check our schedule for times. That's all for your TV20 Weekly News Wrap-Up. I'm Leah Haslage. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the bottom line up front with City of Cleveland Media Relations Director Dan Williams. Thanks for watching TV20. We are Cleveland.